Hello, I am Robert, humble messenger. It's my pleasure to speak to you of the law of one. It's my pleasure to share with you conscious channeling of LL research. Today's question, the QO, in considering the current and all the past wars that have existed on this planet, and I am thinking now the battle in Ukraine, or the war in Ukraine, when people are killed in violence that is extremely terrorizing, generating fear, anger, hatred. Is it possible that the dying soul or personality becomes stuck on this planet? Or is there a normal progression in a life on a different plane after the third dimensional life? I am QO and am aware of your query, my brother. We find that there is no one definite answer for this query. For many who are participants in the warring nature of bellicosity that has been so prevalent upon your planet, enter into such endeavors. Some are more or less willing and able to participate in the battle. Those who participate through a willingness to enter battle know that there is the chance that they shall be killed, as you would say, that the body shall be dropped, and the spirit shall find itself in another reality, a reality that is much different than the one which was left behind. At that time, the one who is now exploring the world of the spirit has as its guidance system those who will come to it and help it to reorient its awareness so that state of being it now expresses, so that there is the opportunity to look upon the life pattern in the manner which may be seen as a healing experience as the incarnation is reviewed and the means of leaving the incarnation is examined. At this time, there is a conscious awareness of how this all proceeds as memories of previous incarnations and their endings are recorded, so that there is the ability to have what you would call the grand overview of how this process works. And then this entity may move into another realm of existence, into what is called the quality performed or provided by the form maker body, that of the indigo ray, so that it may wait for the future incarnation that will be coming upon in a certain point in its time. This is a normal and natural type of experience of what you call the death of the body within the third density experience. However, many entities who partake in the warring situation are not what you would call willing participants, and have every hope of surviving without the necessity of dropping the body and moving forward. For this is not something that is considered desirable, that it is something that is to be feared, and that when it occurs, the entity experiencing this type of death is often in a state of what you would call shock, or an inability to perceive what has happened. It will look about itself, seeing that it is still in the realm of the field of battle, that it has no longer the clothing of the body about it, that it is what you would call a soul or a spirit that it is confused and it has no ability to move forward, for it does not want to go forward. It wants to go back to where it was to be alive again within its life, to live it in a normal way from which it was taken in order to have to participate in the warring actions. In this instance, there is what is frequently called the lingering spirit, which wanders about aimlessly, trying to make sense of its position and what is the next step to take. It also has many friends about it that at some point will be able to make contact with it as guides, as the higher self, and so forth. However, the ability to make contact with this entity is prefaced or necessitates the entity's own understanding of what it is now experiencing, or what you would call the penetration of a etheria, the penetration of a nature of where it is, how it got there, and what the next step might be. This could take a different amount of time for each type of entity of this nature, for each is unique. The time period eventually will come so that there may be contact made with this entity, and it may go through the same process of the healing and review of incarnation that the entity who was willing to fight and willing to die as a part of his duty has experienced as a natural form of its life passing. Is there a follow-up query to this question, my brother? Yes. Is there anything that loved ones, family members, or just those of us who think of those who have died on battlefields can do? Prayer, positive offerings of love to comfort those lingering souls. I am QO and am aware of your query, my brother. Yes, there is the possibility of making contact with such a soul through what you would call prayer and visualization, so that you send what you feel is your own highest level of unconditional love, healing, to such an entity, surrounding the entity with this love and healing vibration, so that it has at its disposal or utilization the recognition and feeling of that love, so that within its own heart, the love that flows through all entities from the one infinite creator is available to it to be energized in a manner which begins to move into the mind, the intellect that perceives that there is love there, and that love has a healing effect, and that there is the possibility then that this love may be used as a fuel for moving forward in the incarnative process, becoming thus able to realize the status of the self, the nature of its being, and the direction of the path it now will take as a normal part of its understanding a passing from this illusion and from the body into the higher realms or the inner planes of your planet's birth. Is there a further query, my brother? No, thank you. I am deeply grateful. At this time, we shall take our leave of this group and this instrument, thanking all present for their loving support that provided the framework for this channeling session to occur. Each here has a heart that is open in love, flowing through with love and light of the one Creator. And together we have traveled much further tonight and today on this spiritual journey. We are those of QO, and we thank you again for your diligence. We leave you in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator, Adonai Vasu Baragas.